Welcome to today's special from Suffolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Superintendent Deran Whitney. We're excited to continue our video tradition, which we introduce you to 6 very special high school students, the 2016 Valedictorians and Salutatorians from each of our 3 high schools. Today we're going to start with Kings Fork High School. We have the Valedictorian, Elizabeth Childs, and Salutatorian, Emma Taylor-Fishwick. Why don't we start with you, Elizabeth? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Elizabeth Childs, and I play piano, violin. I also ran cross country. I'm interested in engineering and plan to major in mechanical engineering at the University of Maryland, College Park.
All right, sounds like you have a very solid plan there. How about you, Emma?
My name is Emma Taylor-Fishwick. As you mentioned, I also play piano, and I did run cross country with Elizabeth Childs. I am interested in pursuing engineering at the College of University of Virginia. And I am interested in pursuing biomedical engineering and maybe minoring in business.
All right, great. Now, both of you, obviously, you're at the top of your class. I like to ask this question, was this always a goal of yours when you started school, or maybe when you got into upper elementary, you said, I'd like to be the top of my class? Elizabeth?
Well, not really. It was more ever since I started school, my dad always said, do your best and don't accept second best if that isn't your best. So for example, whenever I had a test or anything, I always had to figure out what I did wrong and how to improve that in the future. And I guess that carried on into high school, and I was always working towards my best. And
well, it certainly paid off. That's great. How about you, Emma?
Very similar. I was always interested in just doing my best and trying to get the best scores that were possible for me. And so I think that just put me in the position to be salutatorian.
All right, great. Now, you've mentioned some activities that you're involved in school, but are there other activities that you're involved in school or perhaps out of school?
Well, out of school, I enjoy doing entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So I sometimes, well, in middle school actually, I bought these kits from Michael's and then I sold them around. And then before I started high school, I did my own mailbox business. And I just enjoy doing small little businesses such like that, and then also, of course, playing my violin, which I really enjoyed, and different things like that.
Do you plan to be a business owner one day?
Yes, sir, I do. I plan to become an entrepreneur.
Okay, great. And how about you, Emma, as far as other activities?
I was actually president of the Kings Fork High School Key Club, and I also am president of the Leaders Club at my local YMCA, and this club focuses on fitness, leadership, and just character development.
Okay, great. That sounds exciting. Tell me, do you have a favorite teacher that you've come across while you've been in Suffolk Public Schools? Who might that teacher be, and why were they your favorite teacher?
Well, my favorite teacher would probably be Mr. Graham.
Okay.
And he was my math and physics teacher here at Kings Fork High School. I had him for actually 3 years in the International Baccalaureate program. And he was probably my favorite teacher because he was always honest. And if he didn't know an answer, he wouldn't just pretend that he knew, but instead he would admit that he did not know, and then he would help find the answer. And I think that really helped me to actually admit what I do not know and to find answer and ask questions.
Okay, great. Sounds like he was a good model for you.
Yes.
Emma, do you have any favorite teachers?
Yes, it's actually funny. My favorite teacher would have to be Mr. Graham as well. I had him for 4 different classes in my 3 years at Kings Fork High School. And he was always there if I had a question, and he was always there if I wanted to talk out, just a social problem. I just need to vent to somebody.
Okay, great. Well, that's encouraging to hear Mr. Graham is both of your favorite teachers. Which course would you say best prepared you for college, or that you think perhaps has best prepared you for college?
Well, since I haven't started college yet, of course I would not know. However, I think the course that prepared me best for college would probably be my math course, simply because of the fact that Mr. Graham said that he teaches it just like he had the course taught to him in college, and he also taught many college courses. So my assumption would be that it would be the one that prepared me. And also, he wasn't the type of person to say, oh, turn in your homework, or we have a test today. He gave us the syllabus, and we should just know when the tests are and when the homeworks are. And I feel like that's how it would be in college.
So it sounds like he made you a little bit more responsible.
Yes, sir.
That's excellent. Emma, how about you?
I think my biology teacher, Miss Tori, really prepared me for college. I don't know yet, but I believe so. Just because I had to do a lot of outside learning because she did the flipped classroom system. Mm-hmm. And so it taught me to use different resources instead of just depending on a teacher. So I learned to use videos and look online for resources on various concepts. So I think that really prepared me for college.
I'd have to agree with you. That idea of having to research and utilize your resources effectively is so important. You'll find out when you enter college as well. We also like to ask the question as far as if you were to make suggestions for Suffolk Public Schools, what suggestions would you share with me as far as improving our school division? Elizabeth?
Well, I kind of have two.
Okay.
One of them would be, well, I'm mostly talking from Kings Fork since I attend Kings Fork.
Sure.
But I know here we have one of the teachers that would like to start a Chinese program. And she knows Chinese and she is ready to teach and she knows what to teach. But for some reason, there's been an issue with trying to get started. So I would like to see that happen. And additionally, I would like to see more emphasis on the CTE programs because there is, of course, Pruden, and there's also CTE programs here, but I would like to see them expanded so more people would have the opportunity to take those or have more emphasis on them so more people would take them. Like, for example, many of them are unweighted, and that means, well, from my assumption of the weightings in Suffolk Public Schools, that they're not as rigorous, and I have to see, like, have a higher rigor for those people who know they want to go into that field after they graduate high school, or, for example, using this room for the public speaking class, or for those who want to go into TV production. And just have that as another option.
So more course offering is what sounds like you're suggesting, as far as making sure they're rigorous as well.
Yes.
Okay. Suggestions as far as improvements?
Well, I can only talk from my IB experience because I was never really here for like the regular classes or honors classes because
Sure.
I did just enter into the IB program. But I would definitely, for the IB program, wish to have more options because I felt that I was kind of narrowed down because I wanted to take HL chemistry and biology, but it didn't fit into my schedule, and I would have to, we didn't offer HL chemistry at the time. And I would also really like to see some club sports, like not ones that are focused, because what I was finding was that a lot of kids didn't have the experience as young to like get into sports, so they weren't like as prepared for it, but they definitely wanted to be involved in sports, but they couldn't make the tryouts. So I was always wanting to like start a like badminton club because nobody really experiences badminton, just to kind of get kids that maybe didn't have athletic experience as like younger kids to kind of get them involved.
More involvement, more clubs and activities. That's a good suggestion. We'll certainly take heed to the suggestions that you all have mentioned. Besides becoming the top of your class, valedictorian, salutatorian, what would you say you're most proud of as far as having completed your school education at this point? What are you most proud of?
It would probably be my mailbox business.
Okay.
Because I did that during the summer, and it was a very different experience. My dad, he actually treated it as he was like my business person, where we went to the Lowe's and we got the materials, and I had to pay him back on the materials of interest and such like that. And he taught me how to do it once, but then all the rest I had to do it myself. And if there was an issue, I had to deal with the customer. It was not he dealing with the customer.
Right.
It also made me a little bit more outgoing because I had to go and I had to talk and make my pitch, and it made me more comfortable speaking around adults.
Are you still running that business now?
I am currently not running the business simply because of the fact that, for one, it actually did take up a lot of time. It was mostly my entire summer.
Sure.
And also, I did not have a car at the time, and also now the car is going towards my sister, so I still do not have a car, and I already expanded my business as far as I could with walking distance, and I took everyone around.
How about you, Emma? What would you say you're most proud of besides being top of your class?
My biggest achievement, I think, is just learning time management from running cross country, and I believe getting to the best of my ability and running the fastest that I could with the coach's effort, and also keeping up with my schoolwork. I thought that was a huge achievement for myself, and I'm very proud of it.
Well, you should be. Both of you should be very proud. In fact, I know how busy seniors are, especially those who are doing so well as far as being at the top of their class. As we close, is there anything else that you'd like to share that we've not mentioned? I'll start with you, Elizabeth.
Well, I actually, since you did give these questions, I asked many of the students at Kings Fork what they would like to change for Kings Fork, and many of them said that they would like an equal distribution of resources. For example, like certain sports, they get priority in the weight room even though they're not in season, while other sports do not. Or sometimes people have even said that some of the sports get like a larger lunch than other sports, and I would like an equal distribution because that would improve the morale of other sports. And if they have the equal resources as all sports, they would most likely become better at those sports, and then more people would know about them.
That's a good idea. We certainly can check into that. How about you, Emma? Anything else?
Not much. I just want to completely agree with what Elizabeth said. From my experience at cross country, I noticed that the girls and boys teams could not match because we didn't have enough of the same uniform. And I thought that was kind of sad because we were both going to the same meets and it just kind of looked like we were two different schools.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. We certainly will look into that also. I really do appreciate both of you coming out here, and I congratulate each of you, and we'll see you on graduation day, which is next Saturday. That wraps up this segment of our special. When we return, we'll be talking with the top graduates from Lakeland High School. So please stay tuned. Welcome back. Today we're introducing you to the 2016 Valedictorians and Salutatorians from our 3 high schools. In this segment, our guests are the top 2 students from Lakeland High School. We have our Valedictorian, Christopher DeFreeuw, and Salutatorian, Jennifer Rockwell. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
And congratulations. Why don't we start off by, Christopher, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Christopher, as you already said, valedictorian from Lakeland High School. I'm going to Bridgewater College in the fall to major in music education with hopes of maybe starting out coming back to Suffolk, maybe.
To be a band instructor?
Yeah, band director.
That's great. We certainly would welcome that. How about you?
I'm Jennifer, and I'm going to JMU for computer science, so I'll be near Chris. And afterwards, I hope to work for the government and maybe go to Japan for a couple years.
Okay, wonderful. I know James Madison University has a beautiful campus, so good luck there. That's wonderful. Let me ask you this question. This is a question that I love asking both Vals and Sals when we do these interviews. Was this always your goal to become the top 2 in your class? Chris?
Well, for me, like, my main goal when I first got into high school was to outdo my brothers before me, because I had 3 brothers that graduated from Lakeland, so they all, higher ranked than the next. So the last one that graduated was 4th. So I was just trying to do better than him. But
well, you did it.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Kind of overshot a little bit. But
That's right. That's great. How about you, Jennifer?
I never really planned to be valedictorian or salutatorian, but I just wanted to do my best at school and see where it got me.
Okay, well, that's great. In fact, that kind of leads to the next question. Were there specific strategies that you would say allowed you to become the Val or the Sal? And I'll start with you, Jennifer.
I guess just paying attention, going to school, do your work. That was pretty much all I really had to do.
Okay, great. How about you, Chris?
It's basically the same. Like, I just say focus in school instead of getting distracted by everything else that goes on around. I just focused on my schoolwork.
Okay. It's been my experience that the top of the class aren't just the top of the class, but they're also involved in other activities. What other activities are you all involved in? Christopher?
Well, we're both in a National Honor Society and Rho Kappa. I think both of us are officers, so.
Okay.
But me, most of my time is taken up by the band at Lakeland, between marching band and concert band, so I don't really have much time for anything else.
Understood. Jennifer?
I do a lot of sports between soccer and cross country, and I also spend a lot of time with my club called Ruriteens, which is a subsect of the Ruritan Club, and we do a lot of community service that I really like.
Okay.
That's pretty much how I spend all my time.
Great, great. Staying busy, it sounds like it. How about your favorite teacher? Each of you have attended Suffolk Public Schools, from my understanding, when you first started in kindergarten. Is there a favorite teacher, and if so, why is that teacher your favorite?
Well, my favorite teacher would have to be the band director from my middle school, John F. Kennedy, Mr. Charles Hunter.
Okay.
I mean, he's been trying to retire for maybe the past 3 years, but he just can't bring himself to do it because he loves teaching music so much.
He is
awesome. Yeah, and you can tell that from how he teaches. He loves doing what he does, and that's kind of what made me want to.
That's great.
Go into the same profession.
Good to hear that. Good. How about you, Jennifer?
My favorite teacher has to be Miss Jacobs. She always tried to do everything, and she had her hand in prom. She was the head of a couple different clubs, and I just really admired that she tried to do everything that she could to make, our junior year like the best it could.
Great, great. Now, considering that you're off on your way to college, which course that you've taken would you say perhaps has best prepared you for college, that you might believe has best prepared you? Of course, you don't know because you haven't started college, but which courses would you say best prepared you?
Well, it would be the AP classes that I took for the past 2 years, more specifically AP language, because, with Miss Williams was the teacher for that class, and it was the most hardcore teacher I've had my whole, 4 years of high school, so I know that's how hard college is going to be, so it kind of helped me.
Sounds like she really pushed you.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, great. How about you, Jennifer?
I would have to say my online AP/DC classes, because you have to teach yourself responsibility in those classes and make sure that you do your work on time and actually log in to go to class.
Right, right. And a lot of the colleges are moving to more online courses or blended courses where you have some face-to-face and also online instruction as well. I'd like to also ask students if they have any suggestions as far as Suffolk Public Schools is concerned. You're an outgoing senior. If you were able to give me some advice as far as improving the system, what suggestions would you give us? Christopher?
Well, I've been, with all the, my music experience and everything, something that I've wanted to learn was music theory. Like actually learn, how to compose music and everything, like actually take the formal class for it.
Right.
But, there's no class in any of the Suffolk Public Schools. But I found out yesterday that they're actually putting one in Lakeland, so.
Good.
Kind of.
Good. The thing about certain classes is, of course, it has to be that interest there, but it's good to hear that that's something that you're interested in. Also good to hear that that's something that we're looking towards doing as well. Jennifer, what suggestions would you have?
Well, with my major and the way that our world is going, I would like to see some more like computer science classes, maybe basic programming or something to help students, get into computer science before they go to college.
Okay, great. Besides earning the honor of being top of your class, what would you say you're most proud of as far as having gone through 17 or 18 years of your life? What would you say?
Well, in January this year, I actually managed to complete my Eagle Scout Award. So, and actually last week I went to the Freemasons, and they presented me an award for it too. That was my presentation. But also this year I went and auditioned for the All Virginia band.
Okay.
I mean, I was the first to audition, but didn't make it. I was 28th chair, which is kind of down there. But
at least you auditioned.
At least I got there.
That's exactly right. That's wonderful. And the Eagle Scout is quite an accomplishment also. Congratulations on that. How about you, Jennifer? What are you most proud of?
I would have to say getting first team all conference for soccer, because soccer is something that I'm always playing, and it's just nice to know that I was one of the best.
Yes, congratulations on that. That's excellent to hear. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't mentioned?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I think we covered it all.
All right, sounds good. Jennifer?
Exactly what Chris said.
Well, I wish you both the best. Congratulations once again, and we'll see you next week during graduation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That wraps up this segment of our show. When we return, we'll be talking with the top 2 students from Nesmond River High School. So please stay tuned. Welcome back. Today we're introducing you to the 2016 Valedictorians and Salutatorians from our 3 high schools. In this segment, our guest will be Miss Dixie Cox, the valedictorian from Nesmond River High School. Welcome, Dixie.
Hello.
Why don't we start off by you just telling us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Dixie Cox. My parents are Susan and Rexwood Cox. I'm graduating from Nansen River High School, and I plan on going to Virginia Tech in the fall for mechanical engineering.
All right, so you want to be a Hokie, huh?
I do.
That's great. Now, let me ask you this. Was it always your goal to become the valedictorian?
It was not. I just went through high school expecting to do the best for myself, and I never tried competing against my peers or trying to hit the #1 spot. I just pushed myself as far as I could go.
Well, that was actually kind of answers my next question. Were there specific strategies that you used as far as obtaining this honor?
I made sure that I had my priorities straight. I did lots of extracurriculars, but I made sure that I had my schoolwork done first before I tried doing anything else.
Gotcha. You're really leading into my next question, it seems like. My next question is, what other activities were you involved in at school?
I do lots of clubs. I've been in the robotics club for all 4 years of high school. I've been on the academic challenge team for 2 years, and I've been participating in the art club during the past year.
All right. Now, I understand that you went all through Suffolk Public Schools throughout your schooling. Did you have a favorite teacher throughout your schooling? And if so, why was that person your favorite teacher?
My favorite teacher would probably have to be Miss Francis. She was my 11th grade AP U.S. history teacher. She was really amazing at her job because she made every student have an interest and a love for the subject like she did. I've never been a huge fan of history classes, but being in her class, she made everything seem relevant to today, and she always had us working interactively to keep everything in topic.
Okay, great. Now, of course, you haven't started college yet, but as you consider the courses that you have taken, which course do you think perhaps has best prepared you for college?
I would have to say the project lead the way classes I've been taking, probably this last year, engineering design and development, it has allowed me to learn very important skills about time management, and I've learned a lot about the engineering process, which will be very useful for me as an engineer.
And you recently presented your capstone project as well, didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
I worked in a group of 3, and our capstone project was centered around the idea of beverage dispensers.
Okay, great. Do you have any suggestions as far as Suffolk Public Schools? I like to ask outgoing students, what can we do to improve our school division? What suggestions might you have?
Well, I considered that it'd be interesting if we had a computer science or programming class available to students. When we were in robotics competitions, we were exposed to many other schools from different districts around the whole East Coast, and many of the schools had an emphasis on technology as it's a growing field. And our team was at a bit of a disadvantage because we didn't have our students equipped with the programming knowledge.
Well, that's good to know. We're in the process of revamping some of our high school courses, so maybe we'll have to consider that as well. Besides becoming valedictorian, what would you say is your most proud event or thing that has happened to you throughout your school years?
I have to say that actually getting into the Virginia Tech School of Engineering, I for some reason didn't expect it for myself, and I was really surprised and really astounded that I could get in, and I was very excited to possibly follow my father's footsteps.
Well, congratulations. Did your father go to Virginia Tech also?
He did.
Wonderful.
Also
All
for
right.
engineering.
Okay, great. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Well, I'd like to say I've been doing very well in Suffolk Public Schools. I'd like to thank my many teachers who have encouraged me along the way. My parents were getting me on the right path from an early age, and I wish the best of luck to the other valedictorians and salutatorians.
Well, that's great to know. And we'll see you on Saturday during graduation. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When we return, we'll be talking with the salutatorian from Nesman River High School. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Today we're introducing you to the 2016 Valedictorians and Salutatorians from our 3 high schools. In this segment, our guest will be our salutatorian from Nesman River, Miss Tori Authors. Congratulations, Tori.
Thank you.
And why don't we start off by you just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Tori Authors. My parents are Adlai and Pontrice Authors. I plan to attend Old Dominion University to study human services because I always had a passion for helping others.
Oh, great. That's a wonderful passion, and certainly can use folks who are going to be willing to help others as well. Was it always your goal to be at the top of your class?
Initially, it was not my goal. My goal was always just to do the best that I can. Mm-hmm. And when I learned in junior year that, I was potentially at the top of my class, I took the steps necessary in my senior year to stay at the top.
Great. And what were some of those steps? What strategies have you used in order to do as well as you've done?
Well, of course, studying hard and also taking advanced classes like dual credit and AP.
Okay, great. Now, it's been my experience that not only is the valedictorian and salutatorian such as yourself do well in school, but they also usually are very involved in activities outside of just the academics. What other activities are you involved in?
Well, during my sophomore and junior year, I participated on the volleyball team. Okay. I'm also a member of the Beta Club and National Honor Society, and I also do volunteer work outside of school. Okay, great. That's always good. Volunteer work, again, it goes with your major as far as helping others. Yes.
How about a favorite teacher throughout your schooling? I know you started with Suffolk Public Schools since first grade. So tell me, do you have a favorite teacher, and why is that teacher your favorite?
I would have to say my favorite teacher would be my Spanish 2 teacher, Miss Ellis, because she was always so kind and she always had a passion for helping her students. So that's like the main thing I remember about her. She was always just very kind.
Okay, great. Great. Which course do you think has best prepared you for college? Of course, you may not know because you haven't started college yet, but which course do you think perhaps has best prepared you for college?
I would have to say my Honors World History 2 class. Mm-hmm. That was like a lecture style class, and that was something I wasn't used to initially. But as the year progressed, I did better, and it helped me prepare for college because of the lecture style. Absolutely.
You'll get a lot of lecture perhaps in college. As far as suggestions for our school division, I like to ask the top of the class, what suggestions might you have for us as far as improving our school division?
I think a class that would be really beneficial would be having a class that teaches students time management. Okay. Because then they can balance their academics as well as after-school activities and their social life as well. So I think that would be great.
That's a good idea. I can remember one of our required readings used to be the 7 Habits for Effective Teens, and it had some management type activities in that, but a class certainly might be a good idea.
Yes.
Besides being the salutatorian, what would you say is what you're most proud of as far as having finished school and just in general?
I think I'm most proud of the fact that I was able to attend Virginia Girls State. I was selected by my principal, Mr. Mack, and I think that's my proudest achievement because he recognized me, and that was just like really great.
Good. Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
No, that's about it.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming out today, and congratulations.
Thank
and of course, we'll see you on June 9th during graduation. And thank you for tuning in today. We hope that you have enjoyed learning more about the Valedictorians and Salutatorians from the class of 2016. Congratulations to you all.